the 2025 Ducati XDiavel V4. What a devilishly good looking motorcycle. I just rode it 170 miles here in Colorado, and while it's fresh on my mind, I'm going to tell you my first impressions on it. But be sure to also read my in-depth review. The link will be somewhere down here in the description. Now, if you're strapped for time, here I'll quickly tell you what I liked and disliked about this motorcycle. I really like the handling. It handles molto bene. I mean, what a fun bike to rip around on. A motorcycle has to tickle all the senses, and the XDiavel accomplishes that. I don't like the price, I gotta say it. At almost $29,000, that's just a lot of money. Justified? We'll see. Keep watching. Ducati calls this a sport cruiser. It's an important distinction. It is not a traditional cruiser. It really reminds me of a VMAX and V-Rod. Bikes I've spent a lot of time on and really loved, but those bikes had mid-controls, meaning that the foot pegs were more in the middle of the bike and more underneath you in a more neutral position. And the XDiavel V4 has forward controls. But if you're not, Ducati's parts catalog can help. Some might say this is not a cruiser at all because it doesn't look, act, or ride like a traditional cruiser, but it is very much a cruiser in the sense that it's all about see and be seen. Of course, with this bike, it's more about be seen. Am I right, you Ducatisti? It is not the type of cruiser to bust your leather chaps out for, but if I were in Europe, I would don some full leathers. But where I live in North Carolina, it's just too hot and humid for leathers. No thanks. Then again, certain motorcycles require certain gear, and I really think this bike right here requires a cool leather jacket. I mean, look at me. I got on my Vanson Leathers jacket with the Italy-inspired colors and all. Cool, right? Talking about looks, let's just take a moment and appreciate some slow motion clips. I'm a sucker for detail. Look at those lines, how the light reflects. Masterclass in design, if you ask me. Now, in the biz, we have a technical term for a bike like this, panty dropper or boxer dropper. We are all inclusive. ATGAT, am I right? Oh, that's not what that means? Oh, okay. Ducati says the passenger seat is significantly larger than the predecessor by about 50%. Now, I gotta say, it still looks awfully small to provide real comfort for a long day in the saddle. But then again, I don't think Ducati's designers were considering a significant other to spend some significant time on the back of this motorcycle. You know, it's more like an emergency seat. So if you need to get a passenger from point A to point B, and that's it, then it's usually an Uber ride to point C. You know what I mean? But how does it ride? The engine is lovely, plenty on tap. The rear two cylinders shut off when riding slow. Definitely a welcome feature to manage heat and emissions, but I feel like I'm missing out on some of that potent sound I got to appreciate when the needle pointed a little further up. The XDiavel likes to go fast. Parade riding is not its cup of tea. It does not like to go slow. It's a little twitchy at slow speed, but once underway though, it's like on rails and can be flicked into corners. Fat tire be damned. The V4 Gran Turismo puts out 168 horsepower at 10,750 RPM and 93 pound-feet of torque at 7,500 RPM. I spent all day riding this motorcycle, and there are a few things that I would change if I would buy this bike. First thing, one of the bikes had the optional exhaust on it, which sounded really good. No brainer, at the exhaust. Then the next thing, these are the stock forward controls. And I mean, even with my long legs and long reach, it's after a while, it just really puts you in a position where you can't move it around anymore. I mean, the seat really holds you in one position, and then there's not a lot of movement for comfort. But these you can adjust to 3 different positions. And right now, these are on the ones closest to me. So a little bit more of an angle here. What I would change, I would put the mid controls, which would put the feet right here. Yes, it would create a more severe bend in my knee right there, but it allows me to lean a little bit more forward, ride more aggressive, and just have more comfort. It also takes away the pressure point on the tailbone right here. Also, riding like this right here in your hip flexors, after 30-40 minutes, you really start feeling it. So I would change the exhaust, I would put the mid controls on it, and then because I have a wife, I would put the grab rails around this passenger seat so I can actually take her on some longer rides, because this motorcycle is an absolute hoot to ride. Gobs of electronics too. If you can think of it, this bike probably has it. Let's see if I can name them all. We have cornering ABS, traction control, wheelie control, we have the power launch, we have the quick shift, and cruise control. You also have 4 riding modes. You have sport, touring, urban, and wet. But I don't think that all of these modes are really all that necessary for a bike like this. I mean, I would be totally happy with just sport mode and wet mode. Would that knock $10,000 off the price, Ducati? I sincerely hope you got some entertainment from this video and learned something about the Ducati XDiavel V4. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to read my full review on RoadRunner.travel.